Welcome back. Today we will learn about two things, which is variables and comments. In the previous class, we have learned about compiler and how a compiler works and what does it do. Today we will see two topics, starting off with comments and then we'll move to variables. Now when it comes to comments, we all know that what exactly it do. Comments job is to tell us that what exactly is happening. For example, you're watching this video and if you have any doubt, you will comment in the comment section. So you're referring to me that I'm having a problem over here, or you're trying to tell me that there is something on this. So basically comments are completely optional thing, but very, very important. Important in the sense that if I give you an example, imagine it like this, that you have a whole team of let's say 30 members and you're working on a gaming project. Let's say any game you're making. It can be a huge game or a small game. Now, all these 30 persons may have similar or different capabilities of what they're working on. Like, for example, somebody will work on the functions of the game, somebody will work on the design of the game, somebody will work on the actions of that player, somebody will work on various different things. So now, the point is that if by chance I'm writing a piece of code and my job is to explain that what exactly I have done over there. Like if I say that if a person knows how to do Python programming, he have no idea about C++. But Python and C++ are not that much of difference. Like if you know both the language, you will get the idea that yes, fine, this is what is happening over here. But when it gets very advanced, then it will be a little bit tricky to understand it that quickly. So we use the method of commenting in order to explain the other person that what exactly we have done over here. For example, I have written here int main. Now there is no concept of int main in Python. So we don't need any main function over there. So we will give a comment. How do we give a comment? We write two lines like this, two slashes like this, and then you can write that this is the main function. After the slash, whatever you write is completely ignored by the compiler. That means this thing is completely ignored. It will not affect the program, whether it is having an error or whether it doesn't have any error. So you can write as many lines or as many comments as possible. There is no problem with that. This kind of comment where you have like using this two dashes which we are giving, this is called as a single line comment. What does that mean? For example, I cannot continue this in the next line. That means if I write here that this thing won't be a comment because this line is only the comment. So you cannot come down in the next line. So it's a single line comment. You cannot use multiple line. Now for multiple line comment, we have another way of writing it. We give a slash, then we give a star, and then we can write here that today we are learning about variables and comments. As you can see, this is what we call as a multi-line comment. That means inside this thing, I can write as many things as possible. I just have to give a slash and a star and a slash. So it's very simple to understand comment, though it is optional, but very, very important because we definitely need to explain others that what exactly we are doing. Next up, we will come with variables. Extremely important topic in C++ as well, that what is a variable. Now when we have to learn about variables, it's very simple to understand it this way, that it is simply a location which is in your memory of the computer, which we give a name. So this can be a formal definition about what is a variable. So location in a memory which we give a name. If you want to understand it in a very, very simple way, you can understand it this way, that you can take a water bottle. The water bottle is the variable. The water inside it is the value. So we have given the name water bottle to it because we want to name it something. Then only we can get the value from it. So variables are simply a storage unit of a program. Now, variable in C++ has to be declared before we use. Now, what does this declaration means? For example, for that, we have to write the type of data. I'm just giving an example over here. And I have to write the variable name, whatever name you can give. There are certain rules for that also. And then I can give a value to it. So this is generally how we write or declare a variable. If I need to give an example here, I can write here int number equal to 4. So this is one example where int is a data type, which we will do in the future classes. Number is the name of that variable, and 4 is the value given inside the number. So you can understand it this way, that there is somewhere in your memory a variable called number has been made and it has 4 inside it. Now the point is that, can we give any name to our variable? Well, that is not the case, because there are certain rules in order to declare a variable. Like for example, the very first rule would be that variable cannot start with a number. Like for example, I cannot write here int 4 number equal to 1. If I run the code over here, you will see that you will get an error. Let me comment this particular line. Yeah. Now you can see we have an error on this line. So it has shown me that I cannot write a variable of this particular name, 4 number. So remember this point, that variable cannot be started with a number. Or you can more precisely say variable name cannot be started with a number. That is the very first rule. Second point would come is that variables are case sensitive. What does it mean? Well, when you talk about variables, if I write a variable, let's say int a equal to, let's say 4, and in the next line I'm writing int a equal to 4. Now they are different variables. They are not the same. Small a and capital A, they are both different. So they are case sensitive. So by chance, don't get confused between them, that they are completely different variables. Small a is a different variable, capital A is a different variable. So that is what we call as a case sensitive variable. So we have to be very careful when we write a name of a variable, because if in case we have given the n capital, next time we're giving the n small, then there will be a conflict. Third rule would be that variables cannot use any special symbols or characters. For example, if I write here, let's say ampersand percentage number equal to 4. As you can see that it has shown me one error at the bottom, that I cannot use a special character when I'm writing a variable name. Moreover, you cannot give space while writing a variable name. For example, if I give a space over here and then I run the code, you will again see an error at the bottom. So space and special characters are not allowed when naming a variable. The last rule which comes to a variable, that you cannot use any keyword while naming a variable. Now, since you have started learning C++, you may not know keywords, but let's say over here, if you see that int is changing color, return is changing color. So these are all keywords. So let's write int return equal to 4. If I run this piece of code over here, you will see that there is an error. I cannot use any special character when I'm naming a variable. So that is the fourth point. Now let me write certain variables. You tell me in the comment section that which one is correct and which one is wrong. Now I'm going to remove this and let me write certain variables. You tell me which one is correct. Now I have here a couple of variables which you can see, which are declared using certain data type, and I also have certain numbers. Now here I have declared and initialized both. Initialize and declaration means when I write only this, for example, if I'm writing in the previous line, if I write here int underscore a and give a semicolon, this is what we call as a declaration. But if I equal it to a number or something, a value, then it is called as declaration plus initialization. So now over here, if you see that underscore is not considered as a special character. So that means this thing is completely correct. Next, if you see here, we have an underscore in between underscore a, no space, no rules are broke. This is also correct. I told that we cannot start a variable with a number, but we can definitely put a number in between or at the end. So that means this is also correct. Here you see that a variable is starting with a number. So that means this is wrong. Here if you see a special character has been used in the center. So that means this is also wrong. And lastly, all these are simple alphabets which we can use. So this is also correct. One may get confused that I told that if you use capital U, you cannot use small u. The reason was that if you use this variable, this one, and in the next line, let's say you write like this, equal to some other number, then what will happen is this is the problem. Now you see that I have changed this u to this u. So I have changed this. So this is violating the case sensitive rule, and this will be wrong. In one time when you declare one variable, whether it's capital or small, it doesn't really matter. So that is absolutely correct. Now we have even more advanced topics when it comes to variables. Like we have different points like local variables, instance variables, or static variables, which we will definitely do in the future, because for that you have to learn certain other points as well. That will be it for this particular video. If you have any doubt, you can put that in the comment section. And in the next class, we'll learn a different topic. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.